Our product attempts to demonstrate what we have learned from predecessors. We believe that our result is a good example of a thriller opening as it bids to create a gripping introduction. We feel that this has been done to a reputable standard. Compared to other thriller openings which I have watched, our opening has its similarities and differences to them. Some had linear narratives, whereas ours didn't. Some had fast camera shots, which we incorporated into our thriller. We tried to be as authentic as we could. We chose to go ahead with our thriller idea as we saw it as the most outstanding of our ideas. It offered us opportunities to establish as many thriller coding conventions as possible, which helped us achieve our goal better. In order to comply with the thriller coding conventions, we had to subtract or add a few things to our story in order for it to appeal to its target audience, which was teenagers. Our questionnaire also helped us do this, as the answers from the questionnaire were of a wide age group, which included teenagers. The result has shown us to include things like demographics and fears. We decided that our narrative would be non-linear since this was the most favoured choice in the questionnaire. Also, the opening would be more interesting if it contained flashbacks, rather than just one straight path. This makes the audience think about what has just happened, therefore they may feel more involved. We planned to set this story in a city so that it would tie in with the transformed city theory. It gives the setting a more edgier and modern appearance. This modern setting creates a contrast with the family, as the family aren't particularly modern. Their family morals aren't those of someone that would typically live in a city. Another coding convention we used was partial vision. This theory is the whole idea of keeping important information hidden away from the audience. Blind spots are introduced in order to build tension and leave unanswered questions for the audience. This then grips the audience's attention. In our thriller, we hid what Olivia was watching on the television. Originally, this was supposed to be incorporated into the thriller, but after careful consideration, we took it out as it improved our thriller. As it is clear she was watching television, the audience wanted to know what she was watching, which was so bad that she needed to be severely punished for. This involves the audience and grips their attention further. As the opening would progress into the actual film, more and more would unravel, so the audience then understand exactly what happened. Another coding convention used is the question and answer model. The audience is presented with uncertainty within the opening. It is unknown to the audience as to what the location is, who the characters are, and what the girl is watching on the television. Yet again, this makes the audience get involved with the narrative because they will want to know more. Another theory used is the exotic. In our opening, Olivia is our foreign object. She is foreign because she doesn't belong in her surroundings, which, in her opening, is the cellar. A little girl does not belong in the cellar. She isn't in her natural environment, and she feels out of place and scared of her surroundings. She is extremely contrasted to her atmosphere. Another theory used within the opening is mazes and labyrinths. This theory is accomplished with the cellar. The cellar resembles a maze as the girl is trapped there. We planned to film in our friend's house, as she had the best setting. Her cellar was dark, old, and very cold. Also, the living room which we planned to film was the best layout which fitted our perspective of the film. We used a lot of camera angles in order to give the audience's perspective as panoramic as possible. This gives the audience more knowledge about the location of the filming, helping them to understand and to distinctly grasp the nature of the film. Low angles were used in order to make the cellar look like a very distant and dark place, as it makes the audience feel like they are looking up out of a dark hole. Wide angles were used in order to get across how decayed the cellar was by showing a lot of their surroundings. Other shots, including close-ups, are used to try and portray emotion, which will bring empathy for the audience. As a whole, I think that our thriller is successful. I think this because we managed to present our ideas in a typical thriller fashion. We felt as though trying to do something different to what we already knew would make our opening too risky, and therefore we stayed within the boundaries of contemporary thriller guidelines. For example, we used simple graphics for the credits and thriller title, but the font we used still throws in an element of tension. We also used as many thriller codes conventions as possible. We decided that it would be appropriate to have the mother as the villain in the thriller. We did this in order to show that it is her mother who is punishing her. Our group firmly placed confidence in our opening sequence. We worked hard before shooting by doing storyboards, shot lists, and other things, as well as working hard after shooting, which was mostly editing. We think our consistency has paid off with a good standard of a thriller, and that is a good contribution to the thriller genre.